Sagging arms after 60 aren't just about looks. They're often the first sign your strength is slipping. You know it if lifting a pot feels shaky, if opening a door strains your shoulder, or if carrying groceries wipes you out. That's what muscle loss looks like in real life. The solution? It comes down to 3 small changes. The first wakes up the muscles that shape your arm. The second multiplies that effect. And the third locks it in so it lasts. In a moment, I'll tell you which of those 3 is the real key. I've seen seniors in Japan use these exact steps in community centers, and I've watched them start wearing short sleeves again with pride. It works because it's simple, joint-friendly, and safe. So here's my ask. Drop a comment and tell me which of the 3 you want me to expand on. My name is Dr. Suzuki Sato. For over 4 decades, I've studied how elders in Japan and abroad stay strong. And today, this message is for everyone over 60. Let's begin by looking at what arm fat really is and why spot exercises can't fix it. Here's the thing about arm fat. Most people think it's just extra fat sitting on the back of the arms. That's not really what's going on. What you're seeing is usually 3 things happening together. A little more fat, yes, but also muscle slipping away and skin that's not as springy as it used to be. When those 3 combine, the arms take on that softer, looser look that so many people want to fix. Now, this isn't just about how the arms look. It's about what the arms do. When the muscle underneath fades, it doesn't just change appearance, it changes function. Suddenly, opening a jar is harder. Carrying in groceries feels heavier. Even pushing yourself up from a chair can turn into a strain on the shoulders. These everyday moments are the real signals that something's shifting. Here's a little secret most people don't realize. You can't burn fat off one spot. That's why all the curls and tricep kickbacks in the world don't always make much of a difference. The body loses fat in the order it wants to, not the order we ask it to. So what makes the arms look different isn't blasting them with exercise. It's rebuilding the muscle underneath, while steadily improving how the body handles fat overall. When you do both at the same time, you start to see and feel change. The third piece is the skin itself. Skin relies on collagen and elastin to stay firm. After 60, the body naturally makes less of both. That's why the skin can start to sag, even if your weight hasn't changed much. Years of sun exposure or high blood sugar make this process faster. It's biology, not failure. And once you know what's happening, you can work with it instead of feeling defeated by it. Let me give you a picture you can hold on to. Think of your arms like a tent. The poles are the muscles, the fabric is the skin, and the space inside is partly shaped by body fat. If the poles shrink, the fabric sags. If there's more stuffed inside, the fabric stretches. But if you strengthen the poles, keep the inside steady, and care for the fabric, the whole structure looks and feels stronger. That's what we're aiming for. And it doesn't take a miracle. It takes consistent, small actions that most people can do at home without equipment in just a few minutes. I've seen seniors in Japan, well into their 70s, regain confidence in their arms this way. One woman I worked with in Kyoto thought she was stuck forever with sleeves down to her wrists. But after months of simple routines and small food adjustments, her arms were steadier, firmer, and she felt proud again. Let me ask you this. If you had to pick one, which do you think is affecting your arms the most right now? Muscle loss, extra fat, or changes in skin? Just thinking about it helps you know where your focus should be. And if you're comfortable, share it in the comments. You'll be surprised how many people are dealing with the exact same thing. Now here's a line worth remembering. Arms respond better to consistency than intensity. Gentle, repeatable practice most days will beat an intense workout once in a while, every single time. Researchers in both Tokyo and at Harvard found the same thing. Older adults who did small, frequent activities kept more strength than those who pushed hard but skipped days. That's the good news. The winning strategy isn't working harder. It's working smarter and working often. And that brings us to the next step. Because once you see the problem clearly, the next move is to prepare the arms so real change can take hold. That's where the foundation begins, getting the blood moving, loosening up the joints, and setting the stage for strength to return. Now that you understand what's really going on with the arms, let's set the stage so change can actually happen. Think of this part as laying down the foundation, because if the foundation isn't there, everything else feels harder and the results never really stick. The foundation is circulation and range of motion. Blood has to move freely through the muscles. Joints have to feel comfortable enough to allow motion. Without those two things, the arms stay stiff, sore, and tired. And when that happens, no matter how much exercise you try, you don't get the kind of results you're hoping for. Here's the good news. You don't need anything complicated to fix it. You just need to give your arms a little signal each day that says, "It's safe to move." When your body feels safe, it loosens its grip. Tension fades, muscles let blood in, and that's when they start responding. Let me show you some ways to do this right now, sitting at home. Place your palms together softly, right in front of your chest. Press gently, hold for a slow breath, then relax. That's it. It wakes up the chest and arms without stress. Next, grab a towel, roll it up, and pretend you're wringing out water. Twist one way, then the other. Keep your elbows close to your ribs. This wakes up the forearms and elbows, areas that often stiffen with age. Then try small circles with your shoulders, forward, then back, like you're tracing a saucer in the air. Finally, place your open palms against a wall, lean in just a little, and take 3 calm breaths. Imagine telling your body, "You're safe, you can open." These moves don't look like much, but they do something powerful. They bring blood back to the areas you want to change. And when blood flow improves, oxygen and nutrients reach the muscles and waste gets cleared out. That's the environment where growth and repair actually happen. Now let me ask you, what's the first thing you notice when you try simple moves like that? Is it stiffness? Is it a little warmth? Or maybe even relief? If you want, share your answer in the comments. You'll likely find a lot of people noticing the same thing, and it can be comforting to realize you're not the only one. Here's a little retention hook you'll want to hold on to. Comfort comes before change. If the body feels tight and threatened, it fights you. But when it feels loose and safe, it lets you in. That's why this foundation work matters so much. I'll tell you about a man I worked with in his mid-60s. He'd been trying to do push-ups to tighten his arms, but his shoulders hurt, and he was getting frustrated. When we switched him to these gentle foundation moves first, everything shifted. Within a few weeks, his shoulders loosened, his arms accepted the work, and he could finally build on it without pain. And this is where a lot of people over 60 make the mistake. They try to go straight into exercises that are too aggressive. That only leads to soreness and quitting. The smart way, the lasting way, is to warm the ground first. Think of it like planting a seed. You don't just toss it on concrete. You soften the soil, make space, and then the seed can grow. Here's something you may want to replay in your head twice. The body loves rhythm more than intensity. Gentle daily rhythm builds trust, and once the body trusts you, it gives you strength back. So now the foundation is set. The arms are prepared. Circulation is flowing, joints feel safer, and the muscles are ready to listen. Next, we'll get into the 2 habits that actually shape the arms. Habits simple enough to do at home, yet strong enough to create change you'll see and feel. Now that the foundation is set, let's talk about the 2 habits that really make the difference. These are the things that reshape how your arms look and feel, and they don't take hours. They only take minutes, and you can do them right at home. The first habit is what I call waking up the muscles. Think of it like knocking on the door of your arms and saying, "Hey, time to work again." When muscles have been sitting quiet for too long, they stop holding shape. They let the skin droop. They feel weak when you need them most, but when you wake them up every day, even with something simple, they start to change. Here's how you do it. Stand facing a wall, arms out in front of you, hands flat against the surface. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, bend your elbows and bring your chest a little closer to the wall. Hold for a breath, then press back to where you started. slow, smooth. Do it just a handful of times. This is not about how many you do. It's about showing the muscles they still have a job to do. After that, roll up a towel, hold it between your hands at chest height, and try to pull it apart. Not hard, just enough that you feel the backs of your arms tighten. Hold, breathe, release. This wakes up the triceps, the very muscles most people call the problem spot. Do this for a few breaths and you'll feel it. Now here's the part worth remembering. It's not the size of the workout that matters, it's the signal you send. Muscles listen to signals. Short, gentle signals sent often beat one big workout that wipes you out. That's the trick. That's why these small moves, done daily, start changing the arms in ways seniors can actually see and feel. Let me ask you something. Which one feels easier for you, the wall press or the towel pull? Try them both and let me know in the comments. You'll find that other people your age are figuring out the same thing, and sharing can give you ideas to make it easier. Now for the second habit. This one has nothing to do with exercise. It happens at your table. The way you eat can either protect muscle or let it fade away. Most people over 60 don't realize their muscles need more protein spread throughout the day, not all in one big meal. A couple of eggs in the morning, a palm-sized portion of fish, chicken, or beans at lunch, and then something gentle but protein-rich in the evening. That's the pattern that keeps muscles alive. In Japan, many elders finish their day with a warm bowl of miso soup with tofu or fish flakes. In the US, it might be Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or even a cup of broth with lentils. That small evening step does two things. It steadies your appetite so you don't snack late at night, and it feeds your muscles while you sleep. That's when your body repairs itself. Without that repair, arms don't change. With it, they start to firm back up. Here's another retention line to hold on to. Muscles don't grow from exercise alone. They grow when exercise and food meet. One without the other doesn't work. Pair them and progress doubles. I'll give you a story. A man in his 70s in North Carolina told me he tried push-ups for months and nothing changed. When he added an evening protein routine, just a cup of broth with beans, he started to see his arms fill back in. It wasn't dramatic overnight, but over a few months, his sleeves felt different and so did his confidence. So here's what you do. Wake the muscles daily with wall presses and towel pulls. Then pair that with steady protein at meals, plus a gentle evening boost. It's simple, but it works. And I'd love to hear from you. What's one protein you enjoy that you can add into your day? Drop it in the comments. You might give someone else a new idea that fits their lifestyle. Now, with these two habits in place, we're ready to talk about fine-tuning. That's where exceptions, adjustments, and what if this hurts questions come in. And that's where we go next. Now let's talk about the part hardly anyone covers, the exceptions. Because not everyone has the same body, the same health history, or the same response. And if you're over 60, you already know one size fits all never really fits. First, let's cover the shoulders. A lot of people tell me their shoulders ache when they try wall presses or any kind of arm work. If that's you, the solution isn't to give up. It's to lower the angle. Instead of pressing at chest height, slide your hands down the wall a little. Keep the movement small and smooth. This takes the pressure off the joint, but still wakes up the muscle. Think of it as meeting your body where it is today. Next, there's swelling. Some folks notice puffiness in the hands or arms, especially after surgery or with certain medical conditions like lymphedema. If that's something you deal with, you need to be extra gentle. Instead of long holds, focus on short movements and keep your arms elevated at times during the day. Always listen to your doctor's guidance if this applies to you. Safety comes first. Here's another exception worth mentioning. Arthritis. Stiff joints can make twisting a towel or even holding pressure against the wall feel uncomfortable. The adjustment: use softer motions. Instead of a towel, use a stretchy band if you have one, or even press your palms into a pillow. The idea isn't the object. It's the gentle signal to your muscles. Now let's talk about skin. Loose skin around the arms is one of the biggest concerns I hear. The truth is, no cream or lotion by itself will solve it. What helps skin most is the combination of protein, hydration, and circulation. Foods rich in vitamin C, like citrus, peppers, or even a simple kiwi, give your body the raw material to support collagen. Pair that with steady protein, and your skin has a much better chance of holding its shape. Let me pause and ask you a question. If you had to choose just one adjustment to make easier on your arms, would it be lowering the angle, swapping the towel, or changing the time of day you practice? Think about it. And if you'd like, share your answer in the comments. Others might learn from your idea and try it themselves. Here's a retention cue to lock in. Progress is not about perfection. It's about removing the barriers that stop you from being consistent. If your version of the move looks different than mine, that's fine. What matters is that you're doing it regularly. I'll tell you about a man in his late 60s who had arthritis so bad he couldn't grip a towel without pain. We switched him to pressing his palms into a sofa cushion. Within weeks, his arms started feeling stronger. The tool didn't matter, the signal did. That's what made the difference. Now, one more exception: medications. If you're on blood thinners, diuretics, or have diabetes, you may need to time things differently. For example, pairing protein with fiber helps keep blood sugar steady. That way you're not getting sudden spikes. It's a simple adjustment, but it makes the whole process more comfortable. Here's another line you'll want to keep. If the body pushes back, it doesn't mean stop, it means adjust. That mindset keeps people going when others quit. So here's what we've covered. Arms change when you work with your body, not against it. Lower the angle if the shoulders protest. Swap the tool if the joints resist. Adjust the timing if medications or conditions require it. These little tweaks make the whole plan sustainable. And I'd love to know, what's one adjustment you've made in your own routine that helps you keep going? Share it below. Someone else might need exactly the tip you've discovered. Now we're ready for the final piece: how to bring it all together into one simple rhythm you can actually follow day after day. That's coming up next. We've covered a lot, so let's pull it all into something simple you can actually use in your day. Because information doesn't change the arms, action does. And the easier it feels to fit into your life, the more likely you'll stick with it. Here's the rhythm. Think of your day like a gentle loop. You start by giving the arms a signal that they're still alive and needed. That's the wall press or towel pull. It only takes a minute, but it tells the muscles, wake up. You still matter. Right after that, you give the body fuel. A little protein at breakfast or lunch, something you already enjoy. That pairing, movement plus fuel, is what makes the difference. As the day goes on, you don't need to keep thinking about it. Just live your life. Carry the groceries, reach for the cabinet, water the plants. Every one of those small acts is now backed by muscles that are awake and ready. That's how you build real-world strength without even noticing it. Evening comes, and this is where you set yourself up for tomorrow. Instead of late-night snacking, have something small that feeds the muscles while you sleep. Maybe it's a bowl of miso soup. Maybe it's a cup of Greek yogurt. Maybe it's beans or lentils in a light broth. Nothing fancy, just a steady signal that the body is supported. When you wake up the next morning, your arms have had the fuel to repair what you worked on earlier. Here's the retention cue to remember. The arms don't change from big bursts. They change from steady signals. If you can give your body 3 small signals every day, wake up, fuel, and repair, you will notice change over time. Let me give you an example. A woman in her late 60s told me she couldn't imagine doing any real exercise. She hated the gym and felt too tired after work. So we kept it simple: wall presses before lunch, a palm of chicken or beans right after, and a small bowl of soup in the evening. She stuck with that rhythm. 3 months later, She told me she felt stronger opening jars, steadier carrying bags, and her sleeves didn't cling the same way anymore. Nothing extreme, just rhythm. Let me ask you, if you had to pick just one of those 3 signals to start today, which one would you choose? Would you rather wake the muscles, fuel them, or give them evening support? Share your choice in the comments. Sometimes saying it out loud or typing it is the step that locks it in for good. Another important piece: don't chase perfection. If you miss a day, you haven't lost progress. You're just picking up again the next day. The body is far more forgiving than most people think. Small, steady effort always beats big pushes that burn out. Here's a line worth remembering twice. Imperfect action still works. You don't need perfect, you just need consistent. And if you want to make this even easier, tie the habit to something you already do. Do your wall presses before you make your morning tea. Have your protein right after your walk. Sip your broth before you turn off the kitchen light at night. When a habit has a natural partner, it sticks without much thought. So now you have the full picture: movement that wakes the arms, protein that feeds them, evenings that repair them, and the adjustments that make it fit your body. It's simple, it's doable, and it works. And here's my invitation. What's the one small step you're going to begin with today? Tell me in the comments. Your choice might be the encouragement someone else needs to take their first step too. Next, we'll close everything out with a simple recap and a message to carry forward. We started with something that feels frustrating for so many people over 60. Arms that don't look or feel the way they used to. What we discovered is that it isn't just arm fat. It's a mix of muscle loss, small shifts in body fat, and skin that naturally changes with age. That can sound discouraging at first, but as you've heard, it's also the reason you can do something about it. You now know the foundation: gentle circulation and range moves that tell your body it's safe to open up. You've got the first habit: simple wall presses and towel pulls to wake up the arms. And you've got the second habit: steady protein through the day with a little boost in the evening to repair while you sleep. Add in the adjustments we talked about, and you've got a plan that works with your body, not against it. Here's the line I want you to remember. Arms don't change from perfection, they change from consistency. A minute today, a meal tomorrow, a small evening step. It all adds up. That's what protects strength and confidence over time. So let me ask you, what's the one action you're going to take this week? Will it be a wall press before lunch, a cup of yogurt after dinner, or just naming the one area you want to work on most? Share it below. Your choice might give someone else the courage to start. If this message helped you, subscribe so you'll keep getting practical, science-backed ways to stay stronger after 60. Small steps matter, and those steps, repeated, are how you keep your independence.